Hello. Realize it's probably been going for a couple seconds, but I wanted to stream a little bit today just to get things going again. So you can see there's something interesting up on the screen, and I'll be explaining that in a second. I'm having weird pictures sent to me, but they are amazing. Um, there's some dolphins with necks, so do with that what you will. Um, but yeah, so today we're just going to go over a little bit of the things that I've already done and then try and get into some more development. So what you're seeing here is the culmination of a few hours of work, but there's a couple things that are going on. One thing I will add is the game is running awfully slow right now, and the reason for that is for some reason this uh, this TV screen that I'm using as a second monitor is just eating my graphics card. I don't understand it. It's not even an HD television, but it can't handle it, and I have an HD TV over here, and that one's fine if I use it as a second screen. So I don't know what the big deal is, but if I sprint, it's not that bad. So the other day we added in this path, and we added in the water here. And so I just wanted to show you, you can now swim in the water. That's a nice feature. And I wanted to show you the kind of awfulness I went through to get that working, because I didn't want to do that on stream. It's kind of tedious. But maybe if I get bored one day, I'll put it on. So let me turn the music off so that's not in the background. But yeah, you can see. So it cuts off about here. There, right there, right there. So everything from here to the left is new. And so the benefit of this is the way I did it, there's no situation over here where there's this dock that I had to not have covered. Because of the walls, it it actually makes it so that you can't get into there, and then when you're in the room, you're no longer swimming because you're not in the same area, so it's not checking that. So yeah, but so this room is something I talked about the other day. This is the wizard hut, and so I'm eventually going to have a little character you can talk to, and this will be involved in a quest. I really, for some reason, artistically wanted to make this weird circle shape with a secondary circle over here, and I realized after doing so that making the walls and the doors on this would be very difficult. For one reason is that the doors currently cannot be on circular walls. It doesn't work that way. So I had to make this little entranceway, which is nice because then you can see where the door is. So I think that's fine. But because of the shape of that, I actually had to put like 3 doors lined up over top of each other there. So it may like flip back and forth if you do it correctly. But I think I worked the kinks out. But Jake, if you're watching, have at it. As soon as this goes live, just work your magic, because I'm sure there's a way to glitch in and out of this. So but I don't think you can actually like get out of this while you're in, like from being in the room. I don't think you can glitch yourself out because of the way that the circle walls work. Right now it is a complete wall around the entire thing. So if these doors weren't here and you were inside the building, you would not be able to get out at all. There's no gaps because it's a circle. So that's the difference with the square walls, is I could accidentally have little sections that were not touching correctly, and you could slip through that crack. But in this situation, there is not going to be any of those scenarios, so we should be good. So yeah, the goal is just to well, I guess I can work on the character a bit. I wanted to also kind of just furnish this building but there's also uh, there's also a couple different buildings that are going to be over here. So I'm just deciding whether I want to kind of fit the big aesthetics. Hey Ross, I see you in the chat. Thanks for coming in. I just wondering if I want to do the macro aesthetics or the micro aesthetics in this stream. So I'm just getting a couple chats because I sent out a message saying I was streaming, so wanted to not leave people hanging. All right. But yeah, that's the goal. So I'm just going to be hanging out. If you guys have anything you want to talk about in the chat, I should be keeping an eye on that. Although my mic is kind of in the way, but we'll deal with that. So, ooh, just realized I gotta watch if I'm like doing the WASD on other programs. It might start typing things out. So yeah, this is a nice feature I added in with the white. You can see where you can swim. So you can see there's a little gap here. Like if I got right there, you could see I can stand. But I figure that's close enough to the shore to where when I'm running it without the swim viz on, you can't really tell where you can get in. So if you're starting in the water, that is a different story. But the minute you move, it checks. So there's probably that spot over here, but if you hadn't known where it was, it's gonna be hard to find that. Yeah, so that is the plan, and I don't know what I want to do. So I have them. Oh, I hit the M button instead of the 3 button. So the map is updated. But oh, the map doesn't have the wizard hut on there, so that's one thing I could add. But yeah, let's put the wizard hut on there, and then we'll go micro and just add little things inside the wizard hut. So that's the plan. So the way that this works is actually pretty interesting. I have to build this area back on paint, because if you remember that I've done everything in separate little pieces. Like the water itself is its own object because it has properties like the fish, and then the house obviously is its own building, and then that's pretty much it in this area so far. I did say we were gonna put in a fountain. That's something that I could do pretty easily. So I think we'll do that instead, and then I'll hold off on putting the wizard hut into the map because I'll just add everything at once. So I should grab my drawing tablet. And this is going to get interesting because the webcam is actually right where my drawing tablet needs to plug in. So we'll see if this works out. That was loud. Hopefully that didn't go over the mic. Alright. I'm holding it upside down? Maybe? Ooh, yeah, that's the problem with the double screen here. I don't know if I want to change the double screen setup, but actually, I don't know if you can see my mouse on here. I can't go all the way down. And so that's gonna be a problem. I could probably work with it. It's just gonna be really annoying. I can't go all the way to the side either. Yeah, that's not gonna work. So if I'm doing an art stream, I guess I gotta choose that before I do my setup. So, ooh, that doesn't sound good. Not sure what that was about. Lots of beeps. Okay. So, I mean, I could try and draw things with the mouse, but I don't want to pin myself down with that. So let's do some coding. Trying to think of what needs to be done. I could use some placeholders, but I don't think that's exactly the route I want to go. What else did I need to do? I don't really pick what I'm gonna do before I start the stream. The stream is kind of just when I work on stuff, so just deciding. That could be an interesting endeavor. I could try to get the images to flip, but that would be a little complicated because I think the way that it's working right now, so the way that this works is that all of these coordinates that are in here are where the hand is on the person, on the character, and then also this is whether or not the hand is behind or in front of the person. So this is the right hand, which is the one that the character uses. So if I'm looking here, you can see that the hand goes and it's kind of behind the whole body the entire time. But if it's here, then actually I think if it's here, then there's a point where I claim that the hand is actually in front of the body. So it's in perspective wise, it's like behind the head. So if I go get an object, like if I go get the fishing rod, then we'll put it in. Oh, I don't think I have it for attack mode. Actually, no. I must have done all the coding for that because it seems like. Yeah. So if you see that, it does the stab, and then here it's in front the whole time. But then when I turn to the side, it's now behind me because that's where the hand is. So that's just a little aesthetic thing. But yeah, just got a Facebook message, wondering what that is. Ooh, you got a swivel mic stand. I actually have one of my own. It's not as snazzy as that one looks, but it's pretty similar. They're very nice though because they keep the mic level no matter where you put the positioning, so it's pretty nice. But yeah, oh we got 3 people watching. That's pretty nice. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I had an idea that maybe I could put the little. That's what I can do. I can update the controls list because that's something that should have been done for the last update. But yeah, so if you go to the controls right now, it doesn't tell you about attacking. So that's kind of important. Yeah, that's probably a quick fix that I can definitely do on the with the mouse. So let me see. I'm not doing it in a very smart way. I could probably just make it part of the menu, which would be the better way to do it. So I'm gonna try that. Yeah, let's see if we can pull that off. So Control H, menu, find. IG, menu, find. There's none of those because that's supposed to be capital. IG settings, that's what I was looking for. So this guy has to do with the settings. So IG settings is the last one because it's 4. Alright, there we go. This is the in-game settings. So this is the menu, we have the save screen, we have the control screen. If instead of doing the controls the way I've done them, we could actually do the controls with text on the screen and an ability to scroll on the side. So that could be a little interesting because I would have to set it up the way that I've set up the stat page and the achievement page. Because if you go to the achievements, so if you go to 2, I don't have enough achievements, but because there's 27 of them, if you had a bunch of achievements, you could scroll down. And so if you have more than 5, then you have to scroll down further on the page, and it allows you to see more, even though not everything's visible at once. So that's the benefit. I don't have to cram everything on one screen. We could have a couple different pages. I could also just have 2 settings screens, so you could pan through the settings, or in the settings screen there could be a selection of different topics, and then on those screens individually you could select them, and then you could go to that. So like, say you had the general settings, that would be its own page, and then you had the attack settings and the attack controls, the fishing controls, like things like that. That would probably be the smart way to do it. What did I just click on? Okay, but so right now that's how you can see it. No. So this is the current controls page, and we want to make this a lot nicer. So we're gonna have a bunch of different screens, I guess. So I'm gonna leave these here temporarily because we have the page. No, it's just gonna go weird. So we'll comment those out for now. So we're in the right place. We have current section set to 1. That just means that it auto jumps to the back button. Yeah. So that's the way this works. If you have an image that is not selectable, then you only have to set the first position. But if it is selectable, then you have to have the first and second position selected so that you can have that nice orange box on it. And that's something that I could probably also code, but it's a lot easier to just draw a secondary picture with an orange box, which is probably why the game is getting to be such a large file, or bundle of files. There's a lot of things that could be optimized. So ig set dot pages 2 dot section dot append section 1. What is that? R is the dimensionality to it, I think. Oh, it's a rows. Yeah. So it's set up like a vector, and you can choose to make it a two-dimensional vector, but it's kind of pointless to do it that way unless you're doing like the inventory, which is eventually just going to be a two-dimensional vector, where you have your rows and your columns, but the columns, the indexes within each row. So the rows can be of different length, which is nice. I'm planning to make it eventually where you could like buy backpacks and have more space. And so if you bought a backpack that had like 2 slots in it, then the backpack would take up 1 slot, but then that'd be kind of pointless. But if you say you had a backpack that gives you 5 slots, well, the backpack takes up 1 slot, but you have that in your inventory, and then the next row would be the backpack slots. So it's something I'm playing around with. I'm trying to make it realistic, even though I have such a low picture quality. I'm trying to make the game make up for that. And I mean, the picture quality is kind of its appeal in my mind, but I don't know. So what I should really do is I should keep the exit and the back button uncommented, because that would probably be smart. Okay, so these are gonna have to switch to zeros. These are gonna have to switch to ones. And I think I'm gonna have it start on 2. Now the way that it prints the image to the screen is the same way that it prints text to the screen. So I think if I do this in a fancy way, I can just make the selected text the same but a different color, or like bigger or something. I think. Yeah, because I've written in a different color before, so that's definitely a possibility. Alright, so the reason I wanted to put these back was they're already in the right place for where they should be, I think. Yeah, there's a huge back button at the bottom for some reason. I don't know why I didn't just put an arrow, but it's where it needs to be, so I'm not going to touch them. It's going to go to the second one first. We're just going to copy this so that's easier to work with. Ow. Right now, I don't think we need the scrolling. That might be something I add later. So we're going to go myfont.render. The text we want is going to be table of contents, and then I always forget the order that things need to go. Anti-alias, color, background, auto set to none. I think you just have to put a 1 and then 0, 0, 0. That's 1. And then when it's selected, we're gonna make this, how can I make that orange? So we need red with a little bit of green, RGB. So we're gonna go 255, 100, 0. I think that's what we want. So I'm just curious how this looks. So we're gonna put it at 50-50. It's taking its time. Alright, let's look at the controls menu. Did it crash? I believe so. Did I forget something? Ah. I did. I did the copy and paste thing. That looks pretty good to me. Ooh, that does look nice. Okay. So, I could probably use that in a lot of places. Right now, it jumps between 2 and 1. It was supposed to be auto on 2. Don't know why it... Was it not? No, it's automatically on 1. So what is this doing then? Current section. 0. I'm just curious what's going on. No, it's just always on the X. But there's a bunch of numbers that are wrong down below, so I don't need the table of contents to be selected. I just thought about that. Yeah. But it does look pretty, so we'll remember that. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste this guy a couple times. Don't think we need 4 yet. We just have general fishing and attack. Alright, so we have table of contents up here. I'm going to delete this. Delete that. Make this image 0. And we're gonna have to switch things around. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna do it. Since this is a title, I'm going to put this up here. We're gonna do 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, because the stuff down below is already set up for something not selectable, and then Oh, I do need that. And then the back button, and then the exit. And then if we have more stuff, then it's not touched at all. So we just need to make this 3, not 4, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is 50-50. We're going to shift it 10. So we're going to say 60. 60, 60, 70, 60, 80. I think this is too close to each other, if I remember correctly. We're not going to change the text. I just want to see what it looks like. Yeah, so we can't go to the selection, but that is too close. And it is... I do want to indent it a little bit more. So we're going to go with like 80. And so we have to go to 65, 80, and then 80, 95. That looks a lot better. So it's auto on the back button. That's fine. I guess this isn't doing anything. Like, I feel like if I delete that, that's not going to change anything. So we need to change the text here. So we're going to have general. Oh, why am I still typing general? And then we're going to go in alphabetical order after general. Even though we only have 3 things right now. So this is actually funny because I can change the hover over text the way I'm doing it. So that leaves some Easter eggs. So what I want to do is if we're on page 2, so it's pretty simple on page 2 right now. All it does is if the current section is 1, then it goes back and it sets the icon selection to 0, that kind of stuff. If the current selection, oh, that's 3, that just sends you out of it. Oh, that's a direction. That's up. Yeah, it's up because it goes left, right, up, down. So if you go up, the current section becomes 2, which is the exit. But we now want this to be for now. Actually, I'm gonna make this. Yeah, I'm gonna make this slightly smart, and then it'll get annoying once I have more things to add. Len ig set dot sections. So what that's going to do is it's going to auto set, we have to subtract 1. It's going to auto set it to the last index in the menu. And so like I said, once we start scrolling on the page, things will get a little crazy. But until then, until then, not until, it'll automatically put it to the last thing. So all I'll have to do is add a new section to that page. So there's your exit and else. If key success 3 equals 1, ig set dot pages pages 2 dot cursec minus equals 1, because we want it to move back in the indexes, and then elif, I think we can just do an if, the way that I have it set up before. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Key success 4 equals 1, ig set dot pages 2 dot cursec plus equals 1. But does this work out in the weird scenario where we're at the bottom of the list? We're at the top of the list. If we're at the top of the list, it works fine because the exit button is the second slot, and the top of the list is going to be the third slot. If we're at the bottom of the list, then it's going to jump to a new section. So I'm going to do something stupid, but I'll hate myself later for it. If ig set dot pages, I did something up here. Yeah, this needs to be pages 2 dot 2 dot section, cursec is equal to that guy right there. Then this guy, these boys, is equal to still got 3 people watching me ramble about coding. This is going to be equal to 1, so that should be the back button. So let's see if that works. I did a lot of steps there, so I might have messed things up. Ooh, that's the one thing. So now that looks nice, but when I'm on the X button, I want to go to the menu first. Do I? So when I'm on the X button, if I go down, I want to go to 3. And then if I'm here, we're going to do some stuff to the side. So if key success 2 I'm missing a C. I knew there was something wrong there. Is equal to 1 ig set dot pages. I've already been recording for, or streaming for 40 minutes. Dot cursec equals 2. So that means if you hit to the left, it's gonna bounce to, sorry, if you hit to the right, it's gonna go to the exit button. And now we want to do this to the exit button. And if you go to the left, we're going to go to 3. So that's the map. Controls. Everything seems to be in order. Getting some notifications. My friend's in the reserves, and I guess he's in Wisconsin right now, so I sent him a message saying I was streaming, but okay, so the menu looks like it's working. So what I do want to make it so that left on the back button works. So I'm gonna do this one actually. Copy, because I want it to go to the bottom if you're on the back button. So this needs to be 1. And that should work. I'm just testing it for sanity's sake. Left, right. So that is going to be somewhat annoying, that if you go to the bottom of the menu and you hit to the right, it's going to go to the X. But I think where it looks right now, that makes sense. Yeah, I think so. I really like how that lights up. Okay. Is anybody with an account still watching? I don't know if there's anything you guys want to talk about, but I'll probably just be doing this the entire time. I don't think I'm going to stream too long, just because it's already 10:45. But I do know that I don't have to do too much tomorrow, because my professor pretty much told me that if I wanted to watch the Portugal-Spain game tomorrow, that I should, and that he was already going to be watching it. So I guess I'm not going to the lab. I'll probably stop into the lab, but that should be fun. Oh yeah, Ross is still watching. How have you been, Ross? Have you been streaming? I haven't. I know you've posted a couple videos like earlier in the month, I think, or maybe that was last month. I don't know. I lose track of time. So what's happening now is, now that we have that page working, I'm gonna set up a new page. Apparently, my friend is out in nature, so he can't watch. Oh, okay. So you have you have a roommate, so it's weird. I get that. Yeah, our roommates go to sleep pretty early, so I'm glad that I'm in a room across the apartment. But I know if you're in pretty close quarters, it can get awkward. Um, but I think I know what we need to do next. So if you see this page is actually the save page. Yeah, save check screen. So that's just to say that just checks to see if you want to leave the game without saving. So it says, "Are you sure you want to leave without saving?" Although that's behind my paint screen, so you can't see that. So what we're gonna do. Oh God, he's a psychologist. Um, I feel that. I wouldn't want to have people playing with me. Um, so I kind of I don't know why I'm keeping this here. I guess I can delete that. I can pull up the picture on the paint screen. That would help out. So if I pull up I don't know. We gotta go to icons. Icons, IG settings, controls, open. Don't save untitled. Why would I save untitled? Okay, so that is the current, these are the current controls. So we have the general controls, which are just how to move. And the benefit of this is all of this is in text, so I don't know why I put it in the picture to begin with. It would have been a lot smarter to do this in text, but that is what I chose to do. So we're going to fix that now. So if I do this, alright, we're going to copy these guys, and we're going to have to edit the page number. Okay, so that is how that needs to be. All those buttons should be in the right place. This is going to be the general settings, or the general controls. And then we're going to... Oh my gosh. We're going to copy that. You're going to go here. Okay, so those are our 3 pages. We're going to have attack, controls, and fishing controls. So it's going to get a little interesting when we get to the fishing controls, because there's actually some pretty long descriptions, but I think they'll fit because it's going to be pretty small text. But it's visible text, so it's fine. So table of contents, no, we're going to do general controls. We're going to do attack controls, and then we're going to do fishing controls. So right now, I think our page 4, 5, and 6 are gonna have the same things as page 2, with one exception. Now if page 2 is equal to 4, oh, that's gonna be rough. So pages 2, we're going to replace pages 2 with pages 4. I'm using the replace tool because that would have been painful to go through. And we'll just use that again when we get to the next section. But what I want to do is I want to edit what happens when you use the back button. So the back button is section 1, and we're going to make it, we won't need this because I don't think that we're going to need any selecting in the fishing settings. It shouldn't take up the whole page, and if it does, then I'll fix that when I get there. But instead of this going back to page 0, we're going to say current page is back to page 2, with icon selected being 0, which would be stupid because icon 0 is the table of contents. So we're going to go to icon selected being icon selected being 3. So that's going to be at the top of the menu. Yeah, okay. So then that's the back button. The X button should be the same, although we don't need those ones. We won't need that one, but we will need the down one. Ooh, yeah, that's something I should address. This needs to have an up one. So if that is 3, then you're going to go to section 2. If that's going to go to section 1. And then these ones aren't necessary at the moment. So what that'll do is that means we can just copy this guy for each of those pages. So I'm going to go like that. And then here, we're going to replace page 4 with page 5. Find, replace. This needs to be 5. And then we're going to replace page 4 with page 6. Find, replace. Realize you guys can't see that, but you get the picture. You can see a lot of it, actually. Okay, so I think that is how we want it. So I'm going to check that, but there's not going to be anything on those pages yet other than the back button and the X, which is what we should see. So, so if we... Oh, we can't actually go to the pages because I haven't added that in. So that's something that I need to add. So if we're in the else section, I could do a little math. Key success 5, which is the enter button, equals 1. Then we're going to ig set dot current page is equal to, so the pages we want to go to are going to be 4 and up. So, and then the indexes are going to be 3 and up. So if we do ig set dot pages I'm gonna have to fix this up here. I just realized that that number is gonna be wrong. Where was I? Pages 2 dot cur sec +1. So whatever section it's on, it'll go to the page that is associated with that section +1, which means that if you're in section 3, you'll go to page 4, and that's important. So then we're gonna have to do that, and that's gonna be a long thing, but it should be fine. I don't think that's necessary. I'm curious. I don't think that line is necessary, so I'm gonna take that out. It's not gonna do exactly what I want, but I don't think that line would have fixed it. Alright, so that pulled up an error. And that's because it's going to the title. What there is, you can't do anything on the title. So when it jumps to this, we need to set current section as opposed to this garbage. Cur sec is going to be equal to 1. So that's going to be the back button. So these ones are going to be page 2. So that's what we want to replace these with. That's what we wanted to see. So I can go to the attack controls, I can go to the general controls. Did I put generals control? No, I did. Yeah. So there's your table of contents, and then you can select the ones you want to go to. So all I have to do is now I have to just write the controls on the page, which should be pretty easy. I'm going to space them out a lot more, just because I'd like people to be able to see what I'm typing, I guess. We're gonna grab. Well, actually, we can do it with the title block pretty easily. So. Yeah, we'll grab that. Copy. What we're gonna do. So this is gonna be section 3. Icon is gonna be 80 because that's what we decided on for the indent. We're gonna drop it down 30 each time. So it's going to go 80. The text that it's going to read is going to be based off of the thing you can see on the paint screen right now. So It's gonna go move, tab, tab, dash, tab, tab. Those have to be backslashes or it's not gonna work. Tab, tab, dash, tab, tab. And then arrows or WASD. So this is gonna drop to 110, not 101, 110. What that's gonna say is sprint tab tab dash tab tab shift, and then section 5 we're gonna go to toggle music. I believe Megan's home. Tab, I think we won't need 2 tabs, but we'll see about that. And M. Okay, so I'm just gonna go check what that looks like. I'm pretty sure all these are in order, so let's just look at what it does. General. The tabs don't work, and I didn't change the Y. 140. The tabs don't work, so we're gonna have to put spaces there. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we have to do math on here. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has to add up to 16, so we need 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I can match them up here. That's fine. So Alright, so that's what it's going to look like. And it's actually going to be a relatively similar spread to where it is on the page, which is nice visually. It's nice from a coding standpoint to set things up like that, because you can visualize where things are on the page. So if I go up to general, that looks pretty nice. I think that's something that I can flesh out in a pretty easy way. And it looks cleaner than good old MS Paint on the side there. So and go back, we have to fill out the attack page, which the attack is pretty simple. I haven't done attack before, but I haven't had it on the controls page, but it's necessary. Okay, so one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We're just going to make it at 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So, toggle attack mode. Control. And then stab is going to be space. Oh, that's one thing I should add to the general controls. Should I? So, I'm wondering if, because you don't need to have a thing in your hand to stab. You can still stab with your fist, which I think is hilarious, but and it works. But the difference is when you're using things. I don't think there's anything for using an item, so probably going to add that up here. But that's what's nice about this. All I have to do is add a new section. We're going to say use item that is 8. And then we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now it matches up. And space. So those are how it works. And then we have the attack, toggle attack mode, stab. That's all there is right now. There's going to be more things you can do with the attack later on when there's skill trees. But then the last one is fishing. There's 2 things you can do with fishing. So we're gonna do 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. We have cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then we have reel 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Space. Both of these are space actually. But this space is going to have wants to initiate Alright, and then this one is going to have spam it. I've only seen, out of all the people who have played the game in a video, I've only seen one person actually successfully fish. I don't remember if they caught the fish, but I do remember that they there was one person who the game crashed for them because they were fishing. They tried to catch a big, like the fish was too big, and it was something that crashed the game because it had eaten enough fish that it became a size that was too large for what I had already drawn, and it was weird. But oh, I do need to change the Y's here, so that's gonna be 7. That's gonna be fine, and these ones are gonna be fine. Okay. So if I go like that, we can go check the menus out. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be changed. That is a email from my professor saying that he's canceling the meeting because of the soccer game. Okay. So if we go into the controls, we can go look at the general controls, and those look nice. And then attack, that looks nice. And then fishing, that one is off the page, so that is going to be a little weird. Okay, so can I use the new line character? I know the tab character wasn't working very well. So then if it's the new line character, then it's going to be I don't think that's going to work because it turned, yeah. Let's see how that looks. It may just put a box there and space it out more. What was it, the fishing? Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. So we're going to have to add a second one. But we can do that in a cool way. So there's icons. So I'm going to paste that there just temporarily. Then we're going to grab these ones, copy, paste, and instead of what it says now, it's going to say this. We're going to space it to be right there. I hope that's not off the page. So that's going to be 95. Oh, glad to see you could get some of the stream, Ross. Thanks for talking. Unexpected indent. Forgot to get rid of that. Alright, we're probably going to call it soon. I'm just trying to get this last part of the menu working. So that didn't work. Oh. Image 1, 5. It's still off the page. We're just gonna have to bring these guys back. 1, 2, 3, 4. So close. Okay. So now the question is, do I want to move reel down a little bit? Just because it's a little crowded, so I think we will. Bring reel down another 15. There we go. I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, so we got the attack, we got fishing, we got general, and we can go back, in, general, XX works, that's a good thing. And that's a lot better of a table of contents, and you can see there's a lot more room for expansion in the future. So, and the good thing is I can actually make table of contents within the table of contents. So I can click on it, and then I could pull up another page with the table of contents if there's really specific things to be done within the page. So maybe instead of doing the scrolling, like I talked about, I could just have embedded tables of contents for like the general controls, where I could talk about like movement controls, items, things like that. So, or like general settings like toggling the music. So, I think that is where I'm going to call it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Ross, even though you jumped off a couple minutes ago. I want to thank you for commenting in the chat. It's always nice to have somebody talking. But thank you to the 2 other people watching, and I'm going to be signing off. So I'll keep you guys posted. I'll probably do a little bit of work in my free time. I try not to do everything on the stream, just like you saw. I was fidgeting at the start to try and figure out what I was supposed to do. So there's a lot of things that are kind of just tedious and would be hard for me to talk over, so I saved those for off the stream. But I'll keep you guys posted on my progress, when I'm going to stream next, and whatever videos I'm doing other than this. So yeah, thanks for watching.